I'm a procrastinator, so I tend to just push things off to the last minute. So I feel like just balancing two things at once can be more challenging than people expect it to be, especially like when you have class and then work right after, or like if you work maybe 5 days a week. I only work like 3 days a week, but that in itself is kind of hard because I only go to school 3 days a week. So I don't know, things cost money. Like I also want to have a social life outside of school and work. So in order to afford that, I kind of just work. So that way I don't have to rely on my parents for money. I think having a job too and then living out here is kind of like teaching me to be independent in a way too. So that way I'm not so financially like reliant on my parents. If you don't have a car, like I don't have a car out here, so I usually Uber to work. So that adds up, like round trip it's $20. So if I work 3 days a week, I'm spending $60 a week, like that's coming out of my check just to get to work. And I get that like I could take the bus, but it's like an hour trip. So like let's say I have a shift at 8:30, I have to leave at like 7. So it's just like that takes like an hour and a half out of my day that I could be using. So I usually just like Uber.
So my name is Christopher Castro Cruz. I am 22 years old. I'm a part-time server at Giorgio's Pizzeria in the Inner Richmond district of San Francisco, California. I am a full-time student at SF State University. My major is business administration, concentration in management, and I'm minoring in hospitality and tourism management. I live off campus in the Excelsior district, pretty much kind of my outer Mission area. I live with my friends, so just a couple of roommates. I rent a room. So living in San Francisco, it's pretty high living costs. I pretty much just work, paycheck to paycheck. Considering that I get tips being a server, that helps me out. Honestly, my paychecks wouldn't really do justice. It's really the tips that help me out. I average out at least 100 a night. I'd say it is stressful trying to manage to make sure that I'm gonna have rent. Sometimes I don't have enough money to pay for food because I need to pay rent. Or sometimes, I want to be able to relax and have some fun, but everything costs money. So I can't really do anything because I'm focused on trying to make sure rent is there. What does help me out is having like friends that I live with in terms of like, I guess, food supply. We kind of do like communal meals, so we'll like kind of cook one big meals for all of us, which kind of helps me and not have to buy so much groceries because we kind of share it all.
Cute, I'm just front of house. So, I was going to school full-time and then going to work full-time. Well, it started as like going to work like 20 hours a week, but then realizing, can't support myself like on 20 hours, so I'm bumping it up to 30, and then bumping it up to 40. Going to school full-time on top of that 40-hour work week was just like too much. It was like a huge mental strain, huge emotional strain, stressed out because, I'd have to call out of work because I had too much homework. So I ended up having to stop going to school. To start supporting myself, I was like, I'm gonna save up enough money and then start going back to school. But living up in the Bay, it's hard to save money. So, now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm actually just out of school and going to work because I can't save up enough money to even think about doing that right now. So I have like coworkers and stuff who've grown up in Hayes Valley their whole life and told me about the entire experience, stuff like that. Of literally watching the entire community just get destroyed. It brought in a lot of gentrifiers that would come into my job, and they were assholes. Like, they always wanted things a certain way. They would freak out if they didn't get a cone. They just flip out over the dumbest shit, and you just be like, my job now consists of a lot of like regulars and stuff that come in, and it's nice seeing like familiar, friendly faces all the time. Like, these people are rude to you, like, they're very nice to you. They ask you how your day was. I don't hate the service industry, but I also don't like it. It's really hard. It's a huge emotional, physical strain. Being on your feet all day, 8 hours a day. Sometimes even working like overtime shifts, you can work up to 10 hours. The emotional labor that goes into it, it's a lot.